evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader. Today is Tuesday, March the 5th, 2024. I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, Tullahoma firemen receive a grant, Tullahoma Wrestling has 2 state champions, and Motlow College's gala is this weekend. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader.
Hi, my name is Ringo. Here at Barkview Senior Living, they're human-friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. At last week's Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting, the board came to an agreement on a grant for Tullahoma firefighters.
436, consider a request from the Tullahoma Fire Department to approve the application for assistance to the firefighters grant in the amount of $150,797.73 with a cost to the city of Tullahoma of $16,755.30. Details on page 92. Need a motion on the floor. Motion from Barry, seconded by Mann. Turn to the city administrator.
Correct. I've asked Chief Pearson to explain the grant.
Good evening. One of the things that we're doing is we're looking at ways that we can possibly continue to get ready for the future. We did just purchase 30 sets of turnout over 2021, 22, and 23. Our next purchase would not be until probably 26 to start the 21 again, but hopefully we're going to add some firefighters this year or maybe next year. We also have a lot of attrition with the turnout gear. If we lose a firefighter that might leave, every firefighter is not built the same, so we have to have another size for them, so you end up having a special order the new size. The other 2 parts of this is our washer. We have a washer at Station 1 and Station 2, so we can decontaminate our turnout gear after a fire. One of those washers is 16 years old now. It's getting to its end of life, so we're adding that into that as well. The other thing that we've added is the SCBA washer, another decontamination item that will help us continue to keep the carcinogens out of our area. Plus, we've got new SCBAs. Before, we used to have to wash them with a hose pipe and brush them with soap and water. This sanitizer will actually sanitize it. Will completely eliminate any carcinogens that will be on them. So that will help us to continue to keep a clean shop, help our firefighters so hopefully they don't get cancer in the future.
Any questions for the chief? Seeing none. See recorded. Take the vote. And that passes 7-0.
An already historic season added more chapters as the Tullahoma High School wrestling program had 2 state champions and 4 other medalists at the TSSAA State Individual Championships this past weekend in Franklin. Caden Mears and Connor Avens won their respective championships in their weight classes. This year marked the first time THS has had 2 state champions in a single year. Mears and Connor Avens also became the first THS boys wrestlers to win a state title since 2010 when Brandon Bruner accomplished the feat in the 103-pound weight class. Tullahoma also had 3 wrestlers make it to their respective title matches. Corbin Avens and Anders Hamilton finished second on the boys' side, while Peyton Engel took runner-up in the girls' tournament. Zachary Murphy also added a 6th-place effort for the Wildcats. As a team, the Tullahoma boys finished 3rd overall in the total point standings after totaling 111.5 points. The 5 state medalists are the most the THS boys program has had in its history. In 2019, the THS girls wrestling team had 7 state medalists. THS head coach Bob Callison said, quote, "I am extremely proud of our young men and women that wrestled this past weekend. I appreciate their trust, whether that is them trusting the process of becoming a better wrestler or their trust in having me as their coach. Watching how they have grown since July has been a true joy for me. Caden Mears is as tough a wrestler as I have coached in my 32 years. He has worked so hard to become a great young man, and now he's state champion. He's mentally battled against one of the toughest wrestlers in the state, and he leaves a great legacy because of that. First of all, Connor Avens is an extraordinary teammate," Callison said. Connor wrestled at 175 pounds for our team in the state duels tournament, which helped us bring home a state runner-up trophy. He then turned around and won the state title at 195 pounds. This is the 3rd time in 4 weeks that he faced Cascades Chapa, and defeating the same wrestler over and over is a tough task. It takes great discipline to continue to do that, and he was able to do that, end quote. In his first year at the helm of the THS wrestling program, Callison led Tullahoma to unprecedented heights. Prior to the state individual tournament, the Wildcats finished up as the TSSAA state runner-up earlier in the month and left the state duels tournament with their first ever trophy. Before moving to Tullahoma last summer, Callison has spent 31 years in Arizona, where he won 4 state championships. Tullahoma Athletic Director John Olive was on hand for part of both the state wrestling tournaments. He stated that watching the THS wrestling team perform at the state's highest level was truly a joy, and he is proud of all the success that the THS programs had this season. TCS Director of Schools, Dr. Katrine Stevens, has been thrilled to watch and hear about the success of the THS wrestling program. She stated that she cannot wait to honor the THS boys wrestling team and the individual winners at the upcoming Board of Education meeting on March 12th at 5 p.m. The public is invited to attend the meeting and congratulate the team. And after these messages, we'll be right back.
We tend to lose our motivation when we have something that's chronic, but you've got to do what you can early on as you can. After I'd exercise like that, I would have a lot of energy to do housework or whatever I needed. Well, I would recommend it highly to anyone at any degree of Parkinson.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Welcome back. On March 9th, the Motlow State Community College Foundation will host its 32nd fundraiser gala at the Manchester Coffee County Conference Center to raise money for Motlow students. The Motlow College Gala is an annual fundraising event to raise money for student scholarships and campus programs. It is a way for the community to come together to support education and the future of Motlow. An online auction began Monday, March 4th, with both a silent and live auction to take place with the night of the gala with special items donated by local businesses. According to J. Mark Hutchins with the Motlow Foundations, tickets are almost sold out, which is a great response for Motlow College. The funds raised from this event will go directly towards enhancing the college experience for all Motlow students. Seats have gone quickly for the gala, but there is a new feature available this year that still has plenty of room for those interested. A dance party will be open from 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. at $100 per couple. Participants receive a bottle of wine, access to the charcuterie table, and live entertainment from the band Burning Las Vegas. Motlow thanks the event's major event sponsors: Nissan, Jack Daniel's Distillery, Nearest Green Distillery, Vanderbilt Tullahoma Heart and Hospital, and First Bank, and entertainment sponsor Simoness. Motlow is committed to providing affordable and accessible education opportunities to all who are interested, and the college thanks those who will participate in the gala and contribute to the lives of college students throughout the 11-county service area. To bid on online items, learn more information, or purchase tickets, visit bidpal.net/Motlow Gala 2024. You may also contact the foundation directly at foundation@mscc.edu or by calling 931-393-1692. In other local news, we continue with Lyle Russell's presentation on the Duck River watershed at the recent Lunch and Learn held at D.W. Wilson Rec Center. In this clip, Lyle speaks about the importance of the watershed.
Again, the most biodiverse river system, I should say, here in the United States and in North America. Again, to go through the species, 151 species of fish. When I read that about the European continent having less than that continent-wide, and here I'm going to show you your slide in a second, the map of the river system, and we have that in one river that runs through the entirety of our state. The Duck River watershed and the river system is all within our own borders. We don't share it with anybody. But it is split by some congressional districts, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the other thing that's staggering about this one little river system, it is the sole water source for 250,000 people in Middle Tennessee. And it originates just outside of Normandy Lake, right here, right by Tullahoma. That's where we get our water from. It's from Normandy Lake. And so we're lucky because we are almost the source. We're the upstream. But everything we do from the upstream section affects everybody downstream. And as they do something, it affects everybody downstream. By the time you get to the end, at New Johnsonville, Tennessee, they are collecting everything that we have done along the whole route. And I'll show you a little bit more about that in just a second. I'll read you this one little clip that I thought was pretty good. It says, underneath the surface, the Duck River teems with an abundant variety of freshwater animal life that has earned its standing as North America's most biologically diverse freshwater river. And according to the U.S. Geological Survey, one of 3 hotspots for fish and mussel diversity in the entire world. It makes Tennessee's Duck River one of the most outstanding national water resources in the world. So to have that right here where, I like to kayak, I like to fish occasionally, and I've been on the Duck River several times. I've never thought a thing about that. Anytime I've ever gone on that river, I've never thought about any of that. I know there's mussels on there because I've cut my feet on them when I get out of the boat. But I never thought of it that way until I started reading into it. So I'm going to tell you a little. And if you ever want to do a little bit of research on it on your own, National Geographic featured the Duck River in 2010. I forget which month it was. It might have been March, February or March. They did an entire feature story on the Duck River that was really, really good. It's available online. You can go out and check it out if you like. Oops, too far. So let me show you a little bit about this river system. So up here, this top map kind of gives you a general location of where it is. You see where Nashville is in location that. We're basically the entire downstream of Nashville. Now they're located in a different river system. They're on the Cumberland River. And so you remember the Nashville flood from 2010. That was not our river system, but our river system has done that before, very similar. And I'll show you that later on in the slideshow. But when you break that narrowing down into this, it kind of shows you we are down here in this little corner, and there's Normandy Lake. And what they did on this map, and it's hard to see from where you are, but every city that gets its water from this river system is marked on here. So it goes as far outside of the boundary as Hillsboro, Summitville, and then you get some of these other places. I can't remember what city that is. It's hard to read on there. But all of these places, this river is where they get their drinking water from. And we have won awards for having the cleanest and best tasting drinking water all across the United States. The Duck River Utility Commission has been awarded several times just for that. So we are very lucky that we live in a very water-rich and water-abundant area. Other places in the United States, like he was trying to get me to write on the Western United States water rights issues, but when you have people out there fighting over wells, and we're trying to figure out what to do with our stormwater, and out there they're fighting over it. So we are very lucky in our area to have what we have. And so that's another reason why I wanted to give this presentation, is just to give you a little bit more appreciation for what we have right here in our own pocket.
We'll be right back after these messages.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
Welcome back. At the most recent Tullahoma Mayor's Quarterly Planning and Coordinating Committee meeting, Linda Welty of the Tullahoma Community Foundation, formerly known as the Tullahoma Pride, spoke to the group about their plans.
I'm chair at Tullahoma Community Foundation. We've had an adjustment to our name to make our vision and the public a little less conflicted about who we are and what we do. But the one thing that we do is, and looking back, for us, looking back and looking forward are one and the same for us, to see what we've done right and how we can expand upon that. And the Saturday after Thanksgiving, we always do an event down at the Historical Park or Caboose Park, or however everyone is naming it, that we have an event to turn on the George Orr Christmas tree. And over the last couple years, we've expanded this event. This year we had a petting zoo that was absolutely wonderful. You had gotten an opportunity to pet a baby kangaroo, and the kids just loved it. And it's about the children, the reason we do this. And also to bring back that old-fashioned feel of the Hallmark Channel. And that's to me, that's what Tullahoma is. I'm a realtor. I can't sell real estate here in this town without selling the community. The community comes first. So that's why we are so involved in the community. So mark your calendars. We have had vendors, we've had exhibitors, we've had food trucks. We always want it to be between Lincoln Street and Grundy Street. We don't want it ever to be any bigger than that, because then you lose the old-fashioned feel. Mrs. Santa Claus comes in on the fire truck, which is wonderful. Different people help out, and I cannot tell you how many people come to do little things for us that are absolutely appreciated. And we're looking to see what we can do better next year. It's always what we can do better and what we can enhance. But this year coming up, we are still looking at several projects. We'll do the Flip the Switch, which is, blow the whistle on the trash, which is the cleanup along the railroad tracks in the springtime, with the help of Rotary help last year and several other committees help. And again, it's a partnership of people. It's not just one committee, it's a lot of people getting together and doing things together, because we all have that common interest, so we wouldn't be sitting here right now. Also, our committee is looking at Lamar Signs to see what Lamar Signs can do to help Public Works, because sometimes Lamar Signs puts their things up and they don't manicure around the bottom. So we're trying to encourage them to be more supportive of Public Works. And the third thing, I am still after CXX to finish and clean up the depot. And if anybody has any in with CXX or knows how I can talk to a live person that can speak to me, send me their name. That's what I have.
We'll have more news coming up after these messages.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
I feel like we're safe at Parkview.
There's somebody on staff all the time. So if you need help, help is there.
We are surrounded with people that are looking after us and taking care of us.
The staff is wonderful and always available. We feel so safe and secure here.
I feel safe at Parkview all the time.
Welcome back. In this segment of Coffee County Mayor Judd Matheny's Mayor's Message, Judd sits down with Coffee County's District 7 Commissioner, Holly Jones.
Hello, I'm Coffee County Mayor Judd Matheny, and welcome to another edition of the Mayor's Message. We have with us Holly Jones, who is a fantastic commissioner, and she came to us in kind of extraordinary circumstances. Many folks will remember, obviously, Benny Jones, her father, who's a dear friend, and initially held her seat, and just a wonderful man, sat on the committees that she now serves on, and it's just been I know it's kind of sublime for her, but it's been a beautiful process watching her fill his shoes in government and seeing things going on, and she's been a fantastic commissioner, very responsive, has never said no to a challenge, and we really appreciate how hard you've worked and stepping up and doing the things that you've done, and look forward to continuing to work with you. But I want the viewers to know, and the citizens of Coffee County to know, tell them what district you represent and maybe a little bit about your committees. We know what motivated you to serve, obviously, and you've always, I know, had an eye for public service, even before the opportunity came up the way it did. We know that, and rightly so. And then maybe tell a little bit about what you do in the real world, what you can say, where you work or what you do. And then tell us a little bit about what Holly likes to do outside of work and outside of politics and in the real world.
Okay, awesome. Well, I am Holly Jones, one of the District 1 commissioners, and I very much enjoyed serving. I've been serving in this capacity a little over a year now, and I sit on the IT committee and budget and finance, and it's so neat to get to see the inner workings of our county government. I've enjoyed it very much. I'm a lifelong Coffee County resident and a graduate of Coffee County Central High School. Went to Motlow and then MTSU, so I'm Middle Tennessee, born and raised. In June, I will have been a DoD employee at Arnold Air Force Base for 15 years, and I just can't believe it's been 15 years. But I guess time flies when you're having fun.
You've seen a lot of changes at the base.
Tremendous changes.
A whole lot. You're seeing a lot now.
Yes.
Probably just with modernization, there's just so much has happened so fast out there. It's been amazing.
It's really neat to be on the forefront of the technology that everyone uses. So
we're so blessed here, not only for a county and where we live and lakes and rivers and hills and all that we have, but this base and the opportunities that it's provided for individuals like yourself and other families, and then the money the residual money that goes out. We've been very fortunate to have that, and we'll do a show one day just on AEDC. But if you don't know a lot about AEDC, I encourage you to study about it. It's definitely a hidden gem here.
It is.
And we bring people down from Nashville all the time, and they had no idea things were going on that have happened before. So you've been a huge part of that. And
I've enjoyed it. I'm actually a third generation employee at Arnold Air Force Base. My grandfather moved here in, I believe, 1953 with his young family to help build the center, and then my mother began working out there in 79, and it only seemed fitting that one of her 4 children carry on the legacy. So I've been out there, and it's certainly been good to us. We often say that Arnold Air Force Base is the best kept secret in the Air Force. So.
It is, and speaking of your mother, she's got the best name in the world, probably. Tell your mom's name.
Dow Jones.
That's a real name, too.
Dow Jones.
It's really neat.
And Dow was a family name, and she searched long and far for the right Jones to be Dow Jones.
She's a terrific lady also.
Yes.
Everybody in your family have been great people.
Thank you.
And so what do you like to do? We know about your work. We know about your public service and what motivates you to serve. What do you like to do in free time, if you ever have any?
There's always something going on, so there's not too much free time, but I just really love to be with my family. I love to read a good book and cook and just do all the fun things. Most recently, we have a new puppy at home, so I've really enjoyed.
What kind of dog?
We got a Doberman. Her name is Tully, and she's just perfect in every way.
What color is she?
She's a black and rust.
Black and rust.
Can't wait for you to meet her.
They're terrific dogs. They are too. They may look a little scary, but they're fantastic dogs when you get to know them, like all dogs are. They're wonderful critters. So
yes.
Good for you. I know your family's big dog people too.
We are.
And our furry friends. Viewers, you'll be able to see Holly's name, her district, and her email on the graphics here, and You can reach out to her for anything you might need.
Yes.
And also, you can call me, as always, anytime at 931-723-5100 and either reach myself, Judd Matheny, Connie, or Sam in the front office, and we can always get a message to Holly.
Absolutely.
And if you need to get anything before one of her committees, the IT committee, we don't do a lot of stuff. It's going to start amping up again, but budget and finance, you're coming into your busy season.
Yes.
We really are. Once again, we're blessed to have our revenues can meet our expenditures right now still nicely. But we got to continue to keep an eye on that as we continue to grow, because we're going to have some real challenges coming, and we know that. But ma'am, thank you so much.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
And thank you for tuning into this edition of the Mayor's Message, and we'll see you next week.
And don't forget to tune in to this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. On this week's show, we'll hear from Lyle Russell, who will update us on activities going on at the Tullahoma Parks and Rec. And Jackie Duncan will stop by for some Tullahoma history. We'll also have some highlights from the Chamber Awards banquet. We'll have all this and more on this week's Living. And stay with us, we'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
One thing about Parkview, we could bring our animal out there with us.
It would have been a deal breaker if we had not been able to take Gracie.
Yeah, we would not have gone.
If you want to do something, there's something to do most of the day. You shouldn't get bored.
I really enjoy my life here at Parkview. I really choose what I want to do. We have a wonderful library with hundreds of books that I love. It is a wonderful place.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this date. Our record high was in 1983 at 78 degrees. The record low was in 1960 at 5 degrees. The average high for this day is 57, and the average low is 36. Rain expected for tonight with a low of 54. Cloudy for Wednesday with a high of 66 and a low of 50, and partly sunny skies for Thursday with a high of 70 and a low of 53. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evenings at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. for News Leader. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Stay safe. Have a great evening.